My name is Sam Markwith, and on this episode of VCU's Got Issues, we will explore problems facing non-traditional VCU students and what can be done to help. But first, a bit about me. I started working on my undergrad in 2017 at Brightpoint Community College. In 2021, I transferred to VCU. Currently, I work full-time at Chesterfield Public Library and take part-time classes. I commute between work, campus, and home, leading to roughly an hour and a half of driving time per day. It seemed apparent to me that VCU tends to focus resources on students who live on campus and attend classes full-time. On VCU's YouTube page, you will find videos with inspirational messages like this.
I remember being curious about what it would be like to get to this point in my life.
It is a little scary, but I am excited. I am ready. I don't want to slow down.
I wanted to see what support was available for part-time students like me. After reaching out to Student Affairs, I was referred to someone who wanted to listen to my story and answer some of my questions. This is Sam Markwith, and I'm joined today by Stephanie Ganser, who is the Director of the Adult Learner Experience in the Office of Adult and Non-Traditional Student Services at VCU.
Thank you. You did a great job sharing my very long title and my very long office name, so thank you.
While I had been using the term part-time to describe my experience, there is no support office for part-time students. Instead, the term used is non-traditional. Non-traditional students are students who meet any of the following categories. If you started VCU at the age of 25 or older, if you're married, widowed, divorced, military affiliated, or have a child or dependent in your care. Due to these particular conditions, I'm not classified as non-traditional. This is why I hadn't heard of the office until now, since Stephanie makes a point to reach out to all incoming non-traditional students and checks in on them throughout the semester. Now I had the opportunity to share what my VCU experience has been like. So last fall was probably the worst schedule that I had. I took 2 classes that were kind of middle of the day, was the only times I could get it. And so I basically worked Monday through Saturday, and the Tuesdays and Thursdays I had class, I closed. So I did 4-hour shifts on those 2 days, and to make it up, I did 8 hours every Saturday.
So you kind of lose your one weekend day that if you wanted to do more homework or have fun or do an errand.
Yeah.
So that's really hard.
It can be a lot, and I'm definitely feeling a lot of burnout, feeling a lot of, I just want my degree. I've been working on this for so long.
That's pretty normal. So you see the light at the end of the tunnel because you started doing this in 2017, chipping away at it, working full time. So you see the end in sight and are ready for that next step. So you're doing it. And I know you know this, but to tell all the listeners, many of our students really like to take classes in December as well as the summer because it spreads out some things. So if you feel like you can't take a full load during the school year, you can take one class over December and January. It's called intersession. So if you have time to take one class intensively for 11 days, then you'll get the credit for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also, from what I saw, it's more common in the summer that classes may be offered asynchronously.
Absolutely. So sometimes there's a little bit more flexibility in the summer and the winter. Typically, all of them are online. It really depends what you need. And I would say if VCU is not offering the class you need at the time you need, but you see it somewhere else, take it somewhere else and just connect with the transfer center before you do that because they'll make sure it's exactly what you need to transfer it back.
Yeah, that's really good advice. I didn't think about that, but I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, I'd also encourage you to be, I would say, vocal with your faculty. Be like, hey, have you thought of offering this asynchronously? Or can we take it over the summer? Because you never know what's possible, and the more students advocate for themselves to say this is what would work for us, you might see change.
I also asked what advice Stephanie would give to faculty members and professors to help these students feel more seen.
I think when the intro, when you have your first class and you welcome everyone and you do the syllabus, mentioning my office, so acknowledging resources. We go through a lot of other resources. So saying that there is a place for students to feel support is important. I think Also, VCU students are really busy, so they are working full-time jobs, they're caregivers, they have served in our military. So I think acknowledging that we all have lives outside of our VCU experience and giving flexibility where appropriate. But I always tell our students that to earn flexibility, you have to be putting in the work. So you have to be attending class, participating, and of course they're going to do as best you can. I'd always encourage students to have really good communication with their faculty, making sure you build a relationship with them so they can see who you are and help you be successful.
I asked if there were any changes Stephanie would like to see in how her office offers support.
Yeah, well, I'm an office of one. So when we talk about being the Office of Adult and Non-Traditional Student Services, it's me, it's Stephanie. So I think growth of our office would be great, and that would be overall more university support for more staff members to be able to do more things.
With a total of roughly 1,500 non-traditional students at VCU, Stephanie explains why it is so important that they have the support they need.
Our students graduate with higher GPAs compared to first-year students and traditional age transfer students. They're excelling inside and outside the classroom, so you want an adult and non-traditional student to be in your class because they will raise up overall quality of discussion and academic promise.
This is Sam Markwith, and thank you for listening.